and the Google Play Store, and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
The following is an announcement from the People's Republic of North Korea.
광명성 3호 2호기 위성 발사 성공. 12월 10일
Greetings, citizens of the Mike O'Mara Show.
위성 발사장에서
Check that. Greetings, citizens of the Mike O'Mara Show Nation. You are inspiring to the world with your loyalty. Our dear leader has taken notice of your enthusiasm, and he knows that you will be proud to show your adoration of the dear leader by going to MikeO'MaraShow.com and ordering your Fat Baby T-shirts. These garments are not only collector's items, but they will let you display a picture of our dear leader, Kim Jong-un, and his loving American nickname, the Fat Baby, right over your evil American chest.
Oh.
These beautiful T-shirts come in men's and women's sizes and are available to you now in bright red to show your happiness and obedience to the robotic minions of the People's Republic of North Korea. So remember to get your Fat Baby T-shirt as soon as you can at Mike O'Mara Show.com, because you never know when we will invade your country and turn it into a factory to make basketballs for the dear leader. Thank you.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
Dr. Jones, again we see there is nothing you can possess which I cannot take away. And you thought I'd given up. You chose the wrong friends. This time it will cost you.
Too bad the Jovitos don't know you the way I do, Belloc.
Yes, too bad. You could warn them, if only you spoke Jovitos. Hokana Matuso! Nobata!
Hello! Why, Dr. Jones, whatever are you doing in such a nasty place?
Why don't you come on down here? I'll show you.
Thank you, my friend, but I think we are all very comfortable up here. That's right, isn't it? Yes, we are very comfortable up here. So once again, Jones, what was briefly yours is now mine. What a fitting end to your life's pursuits. You're about to become a permanent addition to this archaeological find. Who knows? In 1,000 years, even you may be worth something.
Son of a bitch.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Buzz Burbank, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now from his couch, here's Mike.
Live from Studio 1K in the Fiverplex Broadcast Center.
Yeah.
This is The Mike O'Mara. Oh, I'm sorry, not doing that
No
again.
longer.
This is the Mike O'Mara Show, downloaded worldwide 17.5 million times. Are we at 18 yet?
Almost.
Jesus.
Come on, Dr.
Christ.
Mike.
And powered by Encore Insurance, Mr. Jones. We are so comfortable at MikeO'MaraShow.com, 102.9 FM WTNT in D.C., and the mighty 1630 KCJJ in Iowa. Our show is brought to you by...
Encore, Dr. Jones.
Encore Insurance Services, Dr. Jones. The people who bring you this show every weeknight on 102.9 FM WTNT, as opposed to 102.9 AM like there could be.
Oh,
silly, isn't it?
they're modulating the amplitude that way. God.
Like that could happen.
Yeah, they have to modulate the frequency.
All right. Even if you already have life insurance, you might be paying too much. Encore may be able to help you. They helped this guy from another country that came here a long time ago that I know.
An immigrant.
And he loves it.
Yeah, and you know what was great about him? He spoke Javitos.
And ever since that's happened, ever since he has gotten his insurance policy from Encore, he has avoided death.
Yes,
which you will hear about on today's very show.
Cheated death, Mike.
Cheated death, constantly coming up against situations where he missed it by that much.
And in a really nice shirt.
A very nice shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I'm talking, of course, about Oscar Santana, who
Yeah.
dealt. Oh yes, who dealt
I
with
cheat death every day.
he dealt with Encore Insurance, and he loves it.
Yes.
For a free quote, visit smartterm.com or call 866-347-5748. They'll compare rates to help you save. Licensing and disclaimer info at smartterm.com. Let them know that you appreciate them as much as we do. Hi, Horny Bob Spiewak. I know you hate it when I do that.
Boy, the little comments that you hang on to.
I'll hang on to it because I'm sensitive.
Well, get the glasses that are graduated.
I'm a sensitive flower.
Welcome
I am.
home, Flower.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
what a
welcome
weekend.
back.
What a weekend. You will tell you all about it. We will tell you all of that, and then we will discuss something else with our friend.
I'm quite comfortable, Dr. Jones.
It was great. It was terrific.
Good.
I would like to discuss that along with the fact that we are what was the name of the family in A Christmas Story? Was it the Bumpkisses or the Bumpkisses?
neighbors.
The neighbors are the bump.
It's Bumpkisses.
Bumpus. Bumpus.
Bumpuses.
Bumpus hound.
Bumpuses. The Bumpuses.
Right.
And there is a Bumpus, Virginia.
Well, and
too.
I'm a Bumpus now. Because
How?
I have
Really?
3 dogs. I don't have 2. I have the grandfather's dog.
Oh, and also, this is a much larger dog than the dogs that you're accustomed
Lucy.
to. Yes.
Insane Lucy.
Oh, she's not. She's so sweet.
You know what? Then I told her, take her home to Linus.
No, Linus doesn't need that just yet.
No,
She's
I've
not
got
stolen any turkeys yet, has she?
Lucy, the Labrador. Lucy, the Labrador.
She's
Huh?
alert.
What?
just-
Lucy. Yeah, here, pet me, jump. Ooh,
You're not used to dogs that move.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm not. But you know, but it's okay. It's only for 2 weeks.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, my God. And to Lucy, that's 14 weeks.
That'll just fly by.
2 weeks.
That's a long time.
No, it's great. Anyway,
weeks.
let's see. What else?
Boo.
I have a new impression that I would like to debut for you today on the show at some point, and it was born completely organically the way I like them. Might not be that good, but I loved it because I based the impression not on this man, but on the waitress that sounded like this
You
man.
would not tell us any more than that. Is it a celebrity? Is it
Yes.
like a showbiz guy?
It's a big name in show
Oh,
business.
cool.
And it's a big name in comedy.
Cool.
But it's not somebody I normally like.
Somebody he doesn't really like.
Uh-huh.
That's- I
Now,
can't wait to hear.
was this a waitress?
Would you like some more syrup with your chicken and waffles?
Tracy Morgan.
Thank you very much. I swear to God, my God love him. My nephew, he's a cousin, but I call him my nephew Ben.
Good guy.
He was unhinging his jaw. I'd had a couple of those special like pale ale things, and when he started, and we went to a jazz club in Boston on Saturday night.
You were
And
hammered.
It was an African American owned and operated jazz club.
They have
in
those?
the middle of Back Bay, very hip place
Yeah.
for older people, I think.
Yes.
It was very hip with great jazz. They had the Ron Burgundy jazz flute player who was really, and that started the evening.
Wow.
So I play a little jazz flute myself, and so that started the whole evening. But then the waitress came over and said, "Hello, my name is Kim. I'll be your server tonight." And I said, and I leaned over at Ben. I said, "She sounds just like Tracy Morgan, doesn't she?" And one of the things they had was fried chicken and waffles, which
Yes.
is a soul food staple.
Tradition, yeah.
Would you like more syrup for your waffles?
That's
Did
really
you go
good.
And I'm doing it really, really loudly.
Did
And
you
then-
go to a jazz club and have waffles?
No, I didn't have waffles.
Good.
I had jambalaya.
And
it
how
was
was
soul
it?
food. It was all right.
All right.
It was good. But I mean, it was just we were goofy, and I'm there with my sister and my brother-in-law and my wife, and Kathy and Paul and Carla were on one side, and it was me and Ben on the other side. So the other thing I said, I leaned over to Ben, and I said, right in back of Paul. Ben gets my jokes.
Yeah, yes, he does.
And it's loud in there. So you have to whisper right in somebody's ear, and my material's going over well. And I said, hey, Ben, do you think if I pointed at that picture on the wall and asked the manager if that was the owner, that they might get pissed? And so I point, and over Paul's left shoulder is a giant picture of Nelson Mandela.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it would be funny for the evil white devil to go, excuse me, and maybe ask our waitress.
Hi, I was wondering.
That's not the owner.
What could possibly
That's
go
Nelson Mandela. Would you like some more jambalaya or refreshment on your water? I'm glad it's see if you guys were at the table, we would have had a
You
good
know,
time.
the ABCs of you, it doesn't matter that it's your nephew.
Right.
That if you find something that makes someone laugh.
He listens. He is the family member who supports this show. His father does too. Teddy listens to the show a lot.
Hi, Teddy.
But Ben listens all the time, and Ben knows every nuance, so he knows. It's like you're sitting next to somebody who has your exact same.
So great.
Right. And so once he started laughing, and it's loud, so I can do it loud too. You know, I said, it looks like your independent ale seems to be drained dry. Perhaps I could bring another one for you. And it was and so I just was doing that the whole night. There were many high points to the trip, but that was a special. I mean, we're in the middle of Back Bay in Boston. You know where we're talking about, and
for those of us who don't, can you give us a thumbnail of what Back Bay?
Well, I don't know the city
DC
that
area,
well.
I'll tell you. In DC area, it's like DuPont Circle, Georgetown.
That's
okay.
We're in the heart of Boston,
Yeah.
and very close to where all the crap went down.
Yes.
So to start with that, driving up on Friday, we drive up now because airlines have become very expensive for me
it's
now.
a pain in the ass.
Well, I'm not going to spend like $600 for Carla and myself to go to an airport
to be abused by an airline
and get like an hour and a half of a jump on the trip. And I don't want to go through the crap and the hassle.
No, it's not worth it.
So we drive up and.
Were you singing this the whole way?
Yes, please come to Boston.
For the springtime.
We leave here at about noon, 12:30 on Friday.
Right.
And we start driving up to Boston.
You were ramped up, I remember.
I was very ramped up because I said it's really looking like they're going to catch this guy in the morning. It looked like they were going to catch this second suspect. And we're driving up, and as the day progresses, I'm listening to the news from Washington all the way through New York City, and, we're 3 hours out, and I'm beginning to say, do you think the city is going to be open to get in?
Right.
Because it's locked down. At least certain
question.
areas are locked down. And that kind of got flexible for a while, and then like everybody else in the world, the press conference starts at 5 o'clock, and they come out and they say, we're relaxing the stay in your home order for Watertown, Massachusetts. And believe me, the entire city of Boston, probably a lot of people all around the country, all collectively went, oh, Jesus.
Yes.
He got away. Right. That's the first thing.
Because we'd seen it happen before.
You guys know how I am. I handle adverse situations beautifully.
Oh, you see, what I pictured...
Should have heard me. If you'd been... Everybody could hear me.
I thought about you.
Yeah.
I thought about you.
I know you're the mimic, but can I do an impression of how you handled that announcement? Mm-hmm. You, the guy on the radio says, they've relaxed the lockdown.
And it appears at this stage in time, the suspect has gotten away.
Okay, and you say... Carla, this can only mean good news.
or was it, oh, great.
Carla, maybe it's the
punch
pregnancy.
Out your passenger side window.
But Carla had... I'm going to tell you about Carla.
Airbag deployed.
She had telepathy. She had extrasensory perception all weekend. And you joke about what I would have said?
Right.
As soon as that press conference is over, Carla, without missing a beat, says... Well, they'll get him right now.
Really?
And I said, "What do you base that on?" She said, you're going to have more eyes on the situation, and everybody's going to go back to their normal lives.
I never thought anyone would think that way, but that is
within
so smart.
11 minutes, they'd cornered the guy. It was the second time that she did that. One was baseball related, where Paul and I, the guy that was at the plate that won the game for the Red Sox, Paul and I are just eviscerating him, calling him a minor leaguer. He's out of his league. He shouldn't even be in the lineup. And here's the 2-strike pitch, long drive, and he wins the game with a 3-run home run in the 8th inning. And Carla said, Paul and I are like bitching this guy out. Carla doesn't know anything about baseball, and she leans over and goes, he's going to do it.
Wow.
And I said, that's 2. I said, you were 2 for 2 with the telepathy this weekend.
No, but you're right.
I think it's a pregnancy thing.
Yeah, she's working with 2 brains.
Yeah, it's
true.
That is a smart kid.
Baby Mike and Carl, they're working together.
So I jumped ahead, but let me get back to the original situation. But just the depression of identifying with the people of Boston and that feeling of the guy getting away. Really, really, at 5 o'clock, I said, we're 3 hours out, 3.5 hours out of Boston, and I said we might want to think about
alternate plans,
like a hotel room outside of the city, because I didn't know whether we'd be able to get in.
Did you suggest getting a hotel in Las Vegas?
Break left.
Not Las Vegas.
The Mohegan Sun.
The Pequots? What is it?
I'd
the
be lying.
Massachusetts Pequots?
When you make the
Foxwoods.
when you make the trip up the 95 corridor,
sure.
There are occasional opportunities to stretch your legs at some of the finer casinos.
Atlantic City.
Most people don't stretch them under a slot machine.
There's Hollywood Casino in Maryland.
Yes.
Not the Maryland Live one, but the other one that's up near, I don't know where the hell
That's
it is.
the nice one.
And then there's Delaware Downs.
Yes.
Then, of course, you go by Atlantic City. That's significantly out of the way.
It is. A little bit. It is.
And then, of course, you do drive through Hartford on your way up to Boston, and 45 minutes away from that is the aforementioned Foxwoods.
Yeah.
So didn't go to any of them.
Oh, but what is the one?
I wasn't allowed.
Oh, you were forbidden?
I was forbidden.
Isn't the mess?
She kind of got me by saying on the trip up, she said, we can stop at the one right off the highway on the way back. I'm like, and then yesterday, and then her mom called and said, hey, looking forward to relaxing and hearing about your trip. And then, the speed goes up 10 miles an hour because she wants to see her mom.
With her psychic abilities, listen to everything Carla has to say regarding casinos.
Yeah, but see, I don't.
If she says go, go. If she says don't.
Yeah, but she probably saved you nearly $40.
The degenerate gambler doesn't work like that. My brain doesn't work. Mine's just like, stop, stop. And so, how long do you want to stay? 15 hours.
Stop.
Sick. It's
New podcast on Wednesday.
Just one of my many addictions that I barely keep in control. Yeah. And really saying that I even keep them in control would be bad. But anyway, so we get up there, and suddenly, right after the press conference, they corner the guy. And I took a picture, I don't know if you saw on my Facebook page, of our nav.
Yeah.
As, 2 hours later, when this thing was being buttoned up, and we were driving by Watertown, and he was in custody at that point.
Where were you on the road when you heard?
Probably somewhere in Connecticut.
Were you listening to 1010 Wins?
No, I didn't listen to 1010 Wins. No.
Really?
No, you know what I did?
What?
Well, I might as well talk about it. For the first time in my life, I popped for that absolute garbage piece of crap Sirius satellite radio.
Did you really?
Which is in my humble opinion, the greatest rip-up. I'm here to say it as a consumer. This is not sour grapes. You are smoking crack if you subscribe to Sirius.
I agree.
Obviously, absolutely. It's first of all, it is complete and total fraud.
Fraud?
Yes, I am paying. I'm okay with an occasional commercial.
Right.
It is inundated with ads.
Where have you been? They've been having commercials for like 5 years.
But I haven't been listening to it. I haven't had it.
Oh, you thought it was commercial free?
I would get it occasionally and listen to the music channels, which I think they skew the ads a little less on the music channels.
Much less.
But I'm listening to CNN
at
the behest of Mr. Santana.
Yeah.
No commercials on Channel 19, Mike.
Oh, my God.
Elvis Radio.
And the commercials, and the funny commercial that came on is, are you a younger woman married to an older man?
Carla said, be quiet, I'm listening.
We want your story. It's like,
is it Ashley Madison?
I don't know what the hell it was. I was so.
I listened to those ads.
I was so burned out by the end, and just what they're paying for it. First of all, made me think about this show.
Yeah.
Why are we killing ourselves selling ads? Just to subscribe. Anyway, but no, just a thought, just a random thought. We're not changing anything, people.
No,
we're not going to change anything.
But did you enjoy the
I'll
luxury?
tell you, how'd you like to have us with commercial-free fun? Anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
Did you enjoy the luxury of 9 straight hours of continuous coverage where you didn't have to bounce around and try and find other stations?
I didn't like it.
I'm not trying to sell the product.
How
I'm
hard
just
was
curious.
it to set up?
It was easy. It was easy. But I mean, the fact, what, are you working for him?
No, Rob and I were
What, did I have a problem with it?
No,
we were imagining you setting it up on the ride up.
And yelling at the car and yelling at the VIN number.
I don't have the VIN number.
I have the VIN number. the VIN number.
Car.
You driving Carla crazy?
How much of a tard do you think I am?
We don't. It's not your tard level. It's your level of patience.
The
You
VIN
have to
number-
admit you were a little keyed up when you left on Friday.
I was keyed up for the whole trip. That's what kept me going. I didn't get to sleep on Friday night. I was wired.
And at one point, we're sitting here posting
had to
the
see
show.
the old lady on Saturday. I was up at 6:00 on Saturday morning. Going to see mommy.
We're posting the show, and Oscar just says to me, he says, "How do you think that setup is going with Mike?" And I said, "Probably okay. It's mostly in his." He says,
Well, first of all, you guys suck. Second of all, I did it without any problem. But afterwards, here's the thing. So I paid for a year because it was cheaper.
Yes.
Boy,
they saw you
can
coming.
cancel
Can I
if
get
you
out of
want.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, I can?
I mean, you got to call and harangue them, but you can do that.
That'll be happening today.
Yeah.
I have no use for it
See,
anymore.
when you have an hour commute every day, I find that, variety is the spice of life.
Now listen, based on that,
That's
I totally
clever.
understand because I know what I know that in many, many markets, we've certainly heard it from our listeners,
Yes.
that radio is not what it used to be. That's as nice as I'm going to say it, and the fact is, it's frustrating. But this was just, it was no good. And the music selections are, Rob does better, Rob plays 4 songs on a Friday that I'll enjoy more than, listening to 70s on 7 or whatever.
The 70s on 7 is not so good. It's the kids love the hit station.
Yeah.
But that just sounds like noise to me.
Yeah, it just
Stay with Elvis. You'll be happy on Channel Elvis.
I don't know where they dredge these old New
BPM.
York announcers up, and they're terrible. It's just, so I was pissed at that. But it did allow me to follow CNN from start to finish, which is probably something I shouldn't have done. You almost get that trauma. You're just so obsessed
it's upsetting,
with the story.
Right.
And we arrive, we're 2 hours out, probably an hour and a half out when the guy was completely apprehended. And my God, this was dumb luck to be there for the resolution of this horrible situation. Yes. And when I say dumb luck, not lucky to be associated with a city that had a terrorist attack, but lucky to be coming into the city at their moment of resolution, where they were breathing a sigh of relief.
Yes.
And to witness all weekend what I saw with this city, you hear the cliches. And if you're watching this anywhere else in the country and you're hearing my voice, I'm here to tell you I was an eyewitness to something that they talked about. I've never seen anything like it. You had an entire community. I posted this on Facebook last night. If these guys were in any way tied to a major terrorist organization, and the goal of terrorism is to disrupt and scare the American citizenry, I have to say, it did the polar opposite. That was not the case, and this isn't about scale anymore.
Right.
This isn't they just didn't take out enough people. No, it's not that. No. It's that we now know that we are under attack. We know that there are people out there that are trying to get us. And I will say that my feeling is we know how we have to respond to it now. And the way Boston responded was collectively, before they even had these guys identified, to put their middle finger up and go, bring it.
They
Boston strong. It ain't a cliche.
It's not.
They gave him the finger.
They did. They gave him the finger there. And at the end, when they did apprehend these 2 asshats, when Borat 1 and Borat 2 were taken into custody, I was there for the celebration of the people that did such an amazing job. The volunteers that ran the Boston Marathon.
Right.
The volunteers that didn't run the Boston Marathon. The first responders, the firemen, the people, the leaders.
The first responders.
Deval Patrick and the police commissioner. I was walking into Fenway because I told my family, since we're walking the 1.5 miles to get to the stadium, I said, I'd like to go early. And Carl says, why? Because you want to look at your souvenirs? I said, no, because I know how you walk, and I know how my brother-in-law with his perfect runner's legs, and I know how my 60-year-old sister, who may be 7 years older than but I know they fly.
Yeah.
And they fly, and they're always they're not 10 blocks ahead of me, but they're always just far enough in front of me where it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you know what they're doing? They're teasing you.
So I wanted to meander over to Fenway at my own pace. And I
cab.
got there. You know what? You're an ass. Are you a member? Are you a member of my family? Are you a family member? You're not allowed to say that.
You can block a walk.
That's what my whole family said. I did not take a cab.
No, you can walk a block and just duck behind a corner and then just flag a cab.
I did not take
Stocking
a cab.
cap pulled down over his
on
face.
my children's lives. I did not take a cab.
Did they accuse you of that?
Kathy did as soon as I saw her when they got to Fenway Park. She said, "Did you take a cab?" I said, "No, I didn't take a cab." And then I walked back the whole way with them. So it's not like. But I wanted to I wanted to just take it at my pace.
Right.
What time was the game?
1 o'clock.
Oh, you went to the 1 o'clock game?
Went to the 1 o'clock game on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
There was a doubleheader yesterday.
Yeah.
But I went to the 1 o'clock game, and I wanted to linger, and I'm coming around the corner, and there you see, my shrine, the place that my memories with my father, my whole family, you see that. The
Still
stadium.
great to see it.
And it was just cool, and took a little picture of it just for myself. Didn't want to post everything, and although I was tempted to. And then just hung out, and I spontaneously, I don't think it was jive, but I spontaneously walked by these two troopers who were outside of Symphony Hall, and I just walked by and I said, "Thanks, guys," and they said, "You're welcome," and people were doing that all over the city, and
they said against the wall, sir.
Get your face! Face down on the floor!
Down on the ground.
Face down on the floor now!
Actually, what they said was, "Get out of the cab."
Show us your hand. Show us your hand.
Step out of the cab. You're an a-hole, too. Hit the music. We have to go to commercial break.
only kidding.
You're all asses. Big, hairy asses. All right, I'll finish this little recap of my trip to Boston when we come back. This is the Mike O'Mara Show.
Where it began.
I hate you both.
You love us.
No, I don't. This portion of our program is brought to you by Vistaprint.com/TMOS. We told you before, a lot of people are getting their brand new personalized iPhone cases from Vistaprint. Everybody should do it. It's easy to design an iPhone case for every part of your life. You can do it for your company. You can do it for your family. You can put baby pictures up there. You can put the name of the girl you want to date. I don't care what you do, but they start at just $9.99. A good investment for your business, and prospective clients will notice as well. So it's a very good thing for business, but it's great if you just want to have a personalized iPhone case that's not like anybody else's. We use them. All iPhone cases are 50% off if you are a TMOS listener.
Well.
And if your order tops $30, they ship it for free. And I'll tell you something. For $30, you can get yourself an amazing one.
Yes.
And I've gone into the other stores where for $50, you get like a rubber case with nothing on it. If you spend that kind of money on this at Vistaprint, you're going to get an amazing iPhone case.
Get one for every day of the week.
Satisfaction's always guaranteed. Just go to Vistaprint.com/TMOS, and we thank you in advance for that. So it was just an amazingly moving morning for me. I went out. I'm up at 6 o'clock. I drive out to Bedford, where unfortunately they're having a funeral today for one of the people killed in the tragedy. But my mom was out there, and I got a chance to visit with her.
How is she doing,
in the morning? She's 93, and she's having a birthday today. So happy birthday today.
Happy birthday!
Today is officially her birthday.
Happy birthday,
and,
Feliz cumpleaños.
She's doing great. And that's emotional every time I see her, because she's 93 and she's getting old. That's the way it goes.
She's saying the same thing about you right now.
She looks at me and goes, "I really wish you weren't as old."
Still active in her community there, is she?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Still getting it done.
Well, she had dinner the night before I was visiting with her.
Yes.
Oh. Yep. With a guy named Lou.
Gentleman caller.
A
gentleman
Lou.
caller.
Is that the guy we've heard about? Lou the Screw?
Easy.
My family just said, whatever you do, use protection.
Oh, God.
Well, I think that's
And then I made
wise.
Paul spit out his beer when I said, just make sure you use a dental dam.
Oh, no!
Dear.
That's awesome.
Oh, God.
Comedy is my family's middle name.
As your mother would say, why do you have to do that?
I know. We didn't say it in front of her.
I know.
Good.
I know.
Although I told her the Mickey joke. I told her the Mickey joke.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You know
did
the
you?
joke,
Yeah.
You know the
Oh,
joke
yeah.
I've told 400 times
Yeah,
after
Mickey's
Mickey told
closer,
it?
yeah.
And I cleaned it up a little bit. I used make love, and and it worked with her. So it was an emotional day on Saturday because I knew the night before. I said to Carla, we're going to be walking into Fenway Park, and there might be a game too, because the game is really incidental.
Yeah.
They made God bless the Red Sox. They happened to make the game part of the story by the comeback win.
They did. They won. Yeah.
But when I saw Fenway Park, it just meant more to me than it ever has. It just was that kind of day, and there was a euphoria in the streets of Boston, and this is the central location. This is the party time. This is where everybody goes. That's what this city's all about. And as I'm walking down the street, I just have my phone. I'm casually walking over to the area over on Yawkey Way. And in coming out, getting out of his car and walking through the security, I hear this applause, and it's the police commissioner, that big guy that everybody knows.
Oh, yeah, how cool.
That big strapping guy that everybody that gave everybody a sense of he was getting it done, and he did get it done. it was just very cool, and he was there, and he's meeting the ownership of the Red Sox, and I'm like a total geek that I sit there with my camera, gonna videotape you.
Yeah.
There we go. And then I did go to my little souvenir shop, and
it's not all that little.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Home
more of a
Depot
store,
of $50 hats.
But the reason was I wanted to walk at my own pace, and the other reason was I don't like to be disturbed when I'm in the only store that I really care about in the world.
You don't want to be distracted by others.
I mean, I can go in there like a small child, and I can linger. I'm not going to buy a lot.
It's massive
because it's overpriced stuff.
Yeah, it's also a massive. You can spend a day there if you want.
I certainly could.
Is your mouth open while you're looking around?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm sitting there just going. Oh.
They've got a back room.
Hot whalers merchandise.
Much like some clubs have like bottle service and tables, they've got a back room where everything's encased in glass.
Yeah,
and if you'd like, you could buy.
You can own some of the real signed game
collectible stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I bet.
Real expensive. Used to be where they had the Whalers stuff, but the Whalers stuff now has its own rack because there's a Hartford contingent, like my hometown, where we look at that.
I hear it's a nice rack.
So I really thought that they were going to be about an hour behind me, and I guess I spent more time in the souvenir store.
Time flew.
I bought the the little T-shirt for Carla that has the arrow with Red Sox fan on the way.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I got her, and I knew it was going to be chilly, and I bought her a little jacket, and then I bought myself a sweatshirt.
Don't wear
that. That for me, and it was how much was it? $16,000.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't wear Carla's T-shirt because then it would be pointing at your penis, and it would be really inappropriate.
Well, then, unless I wanted to name my penis, you want to meet my little Red Sox fan?
Yeah, I'm sure that would go well.
So,
slugger.
I really thought that I was going to have time to kill.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got done, I'm literally walking through the cashier, and the phone rings. We're here. And you know why? Because they walked at their little bird pace.
Zoom.
Jesus.
Maybe
like
they took
sandpipers.
Maybe they took a cab.
And I said, and at that point I said they're just arriving, and I said, are you coming in?
Right.
Where? To the store. This is why I went by myself.
I'm at the store.
And then this is the response. No, I'm not coming in there.
What's wrong with
I'm like, okay, that's why I came by myself, because I care about this. They were up at the seats.
If you lived there,
I don't want to say our seats were far away,
right?
But Oscar knows where this is.
I saw a picture.
You take an elevator. It's nice they have an elevator.
Get out at the 14th floor.
Take an elevator. You take an elevator up to the top of Fenway Park,
and then walk down a couple rows, and there you are.
We got lucky. We got lucky. Thank you, Score Big. We got lucky. The seats we had were the very top, but because they were at the very top, they had a little table.
Oh, how nice.
Awesome.
A table.
That is
nice.
awesome.
Wow. Now, at that point, Carlos, I look at it because she reads my mind again, and I said, look at this. We've got our own table here. He said, we're not getting too much to eat.
Look, when you're in a ballpark, you can't say that to a grown man.
Stop sucking the fun out of my life.
I could put a sundae here, a hot dog, some onion rings, French fries.
You see, this small helmet, it says Boston, but when you turn it upside down, it holds soft serve. Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, well, she had her disappointment when the refreshment stand was out of soup because she's pregnant and she wanted soup. She started talking about soup when I saw her. She was talking about
Is
soup
at a baseball game a Boston thing?
Chowder.
Oh, okay.
Clam chowder.
When you said
soup,
I'm thinking
chowder.
Chicken noodle? What is she getting? Chowder.
You win in Fenway because it's sheer size. It's so small that really most seats are good.
It seats what, 800 people?
I don't care if I'm the furthest away on the first base. I love being up there because you can see everything going on. Sure. And then the spectacular moments came, one right after the other, the bottom. You've heard it. It's been gone over.
But you were there
again.
That's so great.
But when they ran the video, the initial video, which was beautiful with Hallelujah,
right?
And they were playing that, and it is true. If you didn't shed a tear at that moment, you're not a human being. It was absolutely amazing. And they bring the people out. The first responders came out. They brought all the people out that were affected by the tragedy, regular citizens that had saved lives on that particular day. And there were many of the people that did this. And then old David Ortiz, Big Papi, one of
I have the tape if you'd like to go to it.
Yes.
And he gets out there, and I'm like, oh, this is and I looked at Paul, and I said, this is really cool that he just and it looked spontaneous. It looked like he had said, give me a microphone. I want to say a couple of words. And they went, yeah, you're Big Papi.
What could go wrong?
You're a god in Boston. What could possibly go wrong?
And just back after an injury, right?
Yeah, coming back to his first day back since the season began. He's been
This
rehabbing.
jersey that we wear today, it doesn't say Red Sox. It say Boston. We want to thank you, Mayor Menino, Governor Patrick, the whole police department for the great job that they did this past week. This is our city.
Sure is.
Yeah. They're effing city.
This is our effing city.
Stay strong. Thank you.
Learning English very well.
With the Dominican accent and the audio, he's on the microphone like this.
Yeah.
But I heard it, and the whole stadium, and I looked over and I said to Paul, I said, did he just say the F word? And I looked down, and the guy, this Bostonian guy, hey there, how are you? Who's one row in front of us, is literally going like this.
God, he just said the F word. Did you hear him say the F word?
And then the people that heard it combined with the people that thought they heard it, and everybody
erupted.
It's just a rumble of laughter because everybody's going, oh my God. And it was pure, organic. It was so real. It was a real moment. And there were kids there, but nobody gave a rat's ass.
Right.
Nobody cared.
And what I've heard, and I hope you can confirm this, is the city's really embraced that phrase. I mean, I'm expecting T-shirts any minute now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Say that.
Yeah,
but I understand that Bostonians have embraced that phrase now. It's kind of an anthem. It's kind of a slogan.
This is
for
our
their city.
That word is actually catching on up there.
Well, you know what? I like it because it takes the terror out of the word.
Yeah, it does.
You know?
It does. And and then the game starts, and the game. Everybody's in a just a euphoric state.
Right,
it's a chilly sunny day. The clouds are leaving the area. The wind's picking up, but it was amazing to be there. And we really waited. There's a wonderful God Bless America rendition by a Massachusetts state trooper.
I love that.
And that's the part I don't know whether they showed that on TV or not. And then the big moment that you heard so much about, where ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to bring a special guest. We all know it's Sweet Caroline, and Sweet Caroline's not the seventh inning stretch, by the way.
Right.
Let me make it real clear.
It's the bottom of the eighth?
It's the top of the eighth.
Top of the eighth.
Top of the eighth is Sweet Caroline, and I look down there, and I immediately know what's going on. I said, that's Neil. And I think I used the Big Papi word. That's Neil effing Diamond.
Yeah.
And it's like Neil Diamond, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Neil Diamond. I said, please welcome the singer and songwriter of Sweet Caroline, Neil Diamond. And of course, everybody goes, blah!
Everyone nuts.
Everybody goes,
I actually have tape of this too.
Okay, let's listen.
Thank you, Boston.
Amazing to be there.
What a nice surprise.
What an honor it is for me to be here today. I bring love from the whole country.
I was surprised, though, they didn't at least pop for a karaoke track.
Let me tell you why. Stop right there.
Okay.
Everybody thought that, too, because we could hear it, and he's singing over it.
Yeah.
He showed up before the game. He arrived. He called the switchboard. He didn't prearrange.
He called the switchboard?
He arrived the day of the game. He did not. There was no advance notice of him. They didn't have time to get their act together and put it together, so he had to sing to his own track, and it got a little confusing.
The fault is on him then, because he should have showed up and said, "Hi, here's my karaoke CD. I want you to play this through the sound system."
It was, and that was spontaneous. He got motivated, he got moved, and he flew across the country, and he did this. And it sounded a little awkward. And
who cares?
He looked great, though.
He does look good.
Isn't he like 80 now or something?
I think
like
he's
that?
70-ish.
Is he 70-ish?
I'll find out.
Let's see. It sounded awkward. That's when we all knew it's like, why is there the voice track? Why not have
and
just
it's hard
Neil?
to match that up.
Neil Diamond's 72 years old.
72. He looked great. He looked really, really good.
And sounds pretty good.
He did sound good, and it was just, it was so much fun.
Could you imagine?
Cool. Doesn't
That's
matter.
awesome.
And I have a
You're
video.
so lucky to have experienced.
You did video it?
Yeah, I have a video. I'll post the video. It's
Cool.
terrible.
Yeah,
it's my videos.
It's your Jack Cassidy video?
It's my Jack Cassidy.
It sounds like he's outside the stadium, but he's got it.
It was just amazingly moving.
That is so cool.
That is really cool.
And then, for Red Sox fans like me, my whole life, a little 3-run home run in the 8th inning to win the game, and it just was mind-blowing.
I thought about you all weekend being there.
I sent you a text. I said, try to have fun at the game. If you try, you can.
We will take a break, and when we come back, a major, major, major announcement on the Mike O'Mara Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. Our show is brought to you by RC Kitchens. Spring is a time for kids, dogs, and the socially awkward to start cracking stuff into
That's
your
me,
home.
Mike.
Yes. Anyone that's ever had Rob Spiewak come to their home know that if you let him in the back door, he will just track everything into your home.
And barefooted. I love to go around your backyard barefooted.
Vermin,
with that?
dead things. It's just terrible.
He's a mess.
I remember I came in with a pile. I said, look what I almost stepped in.
Right. Not to mention the usual dirt and debris, dripping pool water when Rob walks through the pool and comes into your home.
Pies.
And of course, he puts his feet when he comes to my backyard, and I don't even have a pool.
No.
So
how does he do this?
He wets his shoes with the hose.
I do.
And then walks in the dirt areas to create mud.
Mike, it's not the hose.
It's easy for that entryway to become an ugly mess, but RC Kitchens can turn your messy entryway into an organized and attractive mudroom.
Very nice.
And they can do it in one day. That's right. One day you will have a very, very cool mudroom.
Amazing.
All because of RC Kitchen's experience and expert planning. Get a mudroom in one day and get it for $300 less when you tell RC Kitchens that you heard it on the Mike O'Mara Show. A lot of people have that room that's the back entrance into their house.
Idea,
It's usually off the kitchen, and they go, this is just, we need to do something with this.
Coats and towels and dirty
RC
clothes.
Kitchens can knock it out for you from D.C. to Delmarva. Estimates from RC Kitchens are guaranteed accurate. Even if you're outside the D.C. area, they can still help you. Call on Rory Callahan and his crew today, 301-537-3515. Write that number down, 301-537-3515, or at rckitchens.com.
Cool.
Are you ready for a major, major announcement?
Yes.
I hope so.
This is an audible. There's not one person in the studio that knows.
No,
okay.
I'm a
I
little
don't
stunned.
do this. I do not play dictator on this show very often. I'm doing it today.
My cheeks are clenched.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Oh, here we go.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, hold on. I have to get my phone out. Did I write it down here? Or did I write it on the phone? Let me just check. Hold on.
Make sure I'm sitting
Oh,
down.
second timpani. This is big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it on my phone. Hold on just a second.
All those
major,
devices.
major announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Rob's Apprentice contest.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Mr. Joel Rogers.
Hey!
Congratulations.
Did you watch his video?
I heard it. I heard it on the show. I should have watched the whole thing.
I invited you to. I'm glad you did.
I watched the video. No one
Unmatchable.
could have done better. I want to say that people like Hank Reuter did an amazing job as well.
He did?
But I watched all of them. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of you that said you were Jack Cassidy around the country. But I'm sorry, the contest must end.
Well, now we have nothing to announce at the Labor Day picnic.
I understand.
We're having a
understand.
picnic.
I am not going to make Mr. Joel Rogers wait because that is a man who has shown loyalty to the show like I could not believe. I don't know how many cities. Yes, of course he's an airline pilot. That helps. But the fact that he took the time and he dealt with our completely inadequate service department and had to wait 10 years to get his shirt, and he kept doing Jack Cassidy's, and then when he got his shirt, he did even more of them, including one on his plane.
Yeah, he announced it on the intercom. I thought that was the winning one right there.
I believe we had Toronto, we had Boston,
All
he
over
went
the
to
world.
Fenway Park, he
Vegas,
went to California, he went to
Oakland.
Las Vegas, just amazing.
That's
and
cool.
and I'm just here to say that Mr. Joel Rogers, you are the winner of the Rob's Apprentice contest.
Do it.
No looking back. Good idea.
Fly in.
No need for waiting. I mean, I just think the guy completely. Do you understand?
Absolutely. I said it when I said you need to see this video.
I said we can't wait any longer.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. I'm not going to diminish what anybody else had done.
Right.
And I know you're probably still receiving them.
I am.
You might even have one today.
Do not have one today.
See, that's good. That's a good thing.
That is a good
Because
thing.
you'd forgotten about it.
Funny how that works.
Because you'd forgotten about it.
There was
And that's
lots
why
of
it's
stuff
time,
this weekend.
That's why it's time to end the. And I'm gonna just want to say your energy.
Yes.
About this contest. This contest needs to be ended. I just looked at it.
Here,
Putting it out of its
I swear to
misery.
God, he will never be a prize again, ever. The Rob's Apprentice.
What does that mean?
It's just you lost interest, and I lost interest.
Well, you know what?
But
I lost
the fact
interest
is-
trying to re-energize you,
Yeah.
which was sort of a
how
lost
long?
battle.
First of all, we start this contest.
Right.
It took like light years.
It did.
I mean, we have a problem with urgency. Do we not?
We should talk about
Do
this
we not have
at a later
problem?
date.
Do
Let's
we
talk
not
about
have-
it.
do we
One
not?
of these
and I'm not
days,
talking about our listeners.
we need
I'm
to
talking
address
about the
that.
way this machine works.
Yes.
And I so when I saw that he was going all over the country without a
Shirtless.
T-shirt,
Yes.
without his T-shirt, and he's still taking the time to say, "I'm Jack Cassidy." I said, "This is loyalty.
Yes.
It is.
That has to be rewarded,
And
And we
dedication.
shall.
and I said, I'm coming in on Monday, and I'm gonna make that announcement because he deserves it. He's a wonderful guy. He's very funny. I mean, he had all the elements. He had the T-shirt even when he didn't have the T-shirt.
Right.
And then he had the locations that were amazing. He gave Buzz some props. He gave me some props. He gave you some props.
Very
It was
nice.
terrific.
He lived up to the letter of the law of the contest, which was impress us. And
Yes.
it was truly,
Yeah.
truly impressive. So
Amazing.
congratulations.
So do you
Mr.
have the
Rogers.
background music where you can tell Joel what he's won, Rob Spiewak?
I can come up with some background music. As you said, Mike.
This is a real audible, folks. I'm doing this like on the fly
as you
right now.
said, no one knew this was coming.
Get some Tijuana brass on there, Rob, because
Yeah.
you got to tell Joel. Tell him what he's won, Johnny, because he is officially Rob's apprentice.
Is he local?
I don't know where he's from.
It depends
I don't
on the
know.
day.
I'll double check it.
But he does, since he is an airline pilot, he probably will have no problem getting to town sometime.
It was amazing.
So
It
no
was
more
absolutely-
entries on the Jack Cassidy tiers, but we're still accepting the fat baby videos.
What does that even mean?
No, the Fat Baby T-shirts are up and running,
That's
and
right.
as you heard at the beginning of the show, that's our next big push. And I think people are really Mark. Are they digging on the Fat Baby T-shirts?
They are indeed. We haven't sold out yet, but we're definitely getting into that range.
Good for you. Thank you for loving the Fat Baby T-shirts.
Going fat.
I can't wait till
Meow.
our chance of ours coming in this week. Is
Yes.
that true?
Yeah,
Or-
I would say mid to late week.
So look for one of the shows where we'll all be wearing our Fat Baby.
I like
and then the
red.
question is, who has the balls to wear it outside?
Yeah.
That's it.
Can I tell Joel what he's won?
Here's the winner of the Rob's Apprentice contest. Tell him what he's won, Rob.
Hi, Joel. Congratulations on being my apprentice. And here's what you've won. You've won the opportunity to sit in on a day of the Mike O'Mara Show podcast. You'll be our in-studio guest. Afterwards, we'll whisk you off to Costco for lunch. Maybe you'll meet Sonny. Then, off to my house to watch... to watch Creativity in Motion as we do
anything for food.
a full episode of the Rob Spiewak Show. You'll be a live guest. Then dinner with the Spiewak family.
Oh my God, gay.
With Carrie, Robert, and Julia. Oh, put your phone on silence because you'll want to stay involved when you get the prize pack, which includes 5 records from my jukebox, an Elvis Presley LP, and a Nazi helmet. Congratulations, Joel.
Yeah.
You earned it, Joel Rogers.
It's over,
job.
Johnny.
That's
over.
Contest is over.
Nice.
It was a great contest.
I have no remorse with this.
solid run.
Ending this too soon, and this for my own in-house stuff because I couldn't believe how good it was.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
It had production elements.
It was 8 minutes worth, wasn't
yeah,
it?
it was.
Yeah.
8:16,
All
I
those
think.
places.
He's all over the place, and it's terrific. So we congratulate him. I think I've covered everything in Boston on the weekend, outside of the fact that driving is a bit of a hassle. 9 hours in the car, quite a bit.
Just quickly, can you give us your impressions on where the case currently stands as far as investigation, finding the guy under the tarp? I can't believe that and this is no slight against the police department,
Right.
but to hide in a kind of a dry dock boat, that seems like the perfect place to hide.
And pretty amazing when you think
Or a
with
trailer or
all the
something.
technology.
It's a dry dock.
Yeah.
And it was
Oh,
the
yeah.
perfect marriage of technology and breaks from citizens, and that's
Right.
where I think also the city came together.
Yes.
And, ultimately you try to lock down an entire town in a suburban town
tough.
just outside of a major city, and you're not necessarily successful. What it comes down to is some guy going out into his backyard to catch a smoke.
Yeah.
And then the technology comes into play, and they were able to resolve the situation.
That heat-sensitive photography from the helicopter
Right.
is that's like watching a science fiction
Yeah,
film.
no
that
place
was
to
so
run,
amazing.
no place to hide.
It really was. What stunned me about the entire ordeal was that this guy probably had a few more hours before he might have bought the farm. Now, did they say is the very latest that he did try to shoot himself in the throat? Is that what it
looks
was?
like? Go ahead, Buzz.
He has an injury to his throat that is quite severe, and it still hasn't been determined officially whether he tried to slash his own throat or whether it was a bullet wound from the gunplay earlier in the day. But that is what has rendered him unable to speak out loud at this time.
But answering certain questions by writing this morning, right?
He's responding. A lot of us have sort of gotten excited about the concept that he's answering questions. That might be premature. He's responding to questions on paper. The questions could be anything not related to the case.
All right.
At the end of the entire ordeal, where we knew who the guy was that was trapped, and you would think that you would have a moment of euphoria. You don't. And I think I'm like everybody else. It was a moment of incredible relief.
Yes.
Yeah.
Followed by why? What an incredible, amazing waste. What a just ridiculous, waste of humanity. Both the people that were attacked and this 19-year-old kid. And I do hope, I think everybody, unless you're so pissed off or you have somebody close where you wanted to see the kid get a bullet in the head, and there might be people like that, and I certainly can understand their feelings. I think the majority of us that were looking from the outside in on this were saying to ourselves, we really hope that they get the guy alive so that they can somehow get to the bottom of what,
of course.
Just profile the self-radicalized if he's not tied into Al-Qaeda. And I'll tell you what was driving me nuts was listening to the family members on the way up.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really nasty MFers in that family. And really they were. And then there were some nice people in the family that you felt sorry for, like the uncle here in Maryland.
Right.
But, boy, listening to somebody, it's like,
Well, why you ask me that? Yeah, get off my porch. I don't want to talk to you.
And saying that he was framed.
Oh, the father, with the translator saying he was framed. But, people respond to those tragedies in different circumstances.
One thing that struck me when all was said and done on Friday night, and this surprised me, is that I realized once again how young he was.
Yeah.
And where I was in my life when I was 19.
Right.
And it made me some sort of underlying feeling that somehow he has this older brother that he admires, or, in some way he's always been there. And if this kid got somehow sucked into this,
I think so.
It's so tragic.
I think a lot of us think that's what happened.
I'm not trying to take any blame away from him.
Well, and it is,
but it's sad.
And we have to say it is speculation because you really have to wait and see what the deal is.
Right.
I mean, you could have something as strange as maybe it was the little brother that was the catalyst.
Could be.
Maybe he's the one that did this, but I just felt so, when you hear about this kid growing up around the area, they lived in the country for almost a decade.
That's what's scary.
And, and that is scary because, the step further than dropping those little backpacks off is blowing yourself up.
Yeah, and
that scares the crap out of me.
It's like, Homeland's a TV show. And really, when I used to watch Homeland, I would say, well, thank God that was like 10 years ago. Like, I can't imagine having that type of anxiety around.
Do you guys
now.
believe, though, that this will result, now it's like we got a reminder. There are enemies among us, and there are enemies that still want to blow us up. And
it's
blow
our own fault.
Up.
It's our own fault that we forgot leading up to this.
Yeah.
And we need to keep it top of mind.
So there's a picture circulating on Facebook and in the news where they released a picture of the suspect number 2 who's still alive.
Right.
And he's walking by, and what seems to be he's about to drop off, or has dropped off the backpack in front of the family with 8-year-old boy now. And the visceral reaction to that photo on Facebook is interesting on many levels because you can see the hate that comes from that. Yeah. But then when you step back and you look at that picture and you see that there's almost glee in this kid's face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And how could you?
The kid dropping off.
Yeah.
The
how
bomb,
could you be so happy?
Yeah, just because you look. I don't know. I don't profile criminals,
Yes. Right.
so and it's so beyond the average person, as Patton said. So much more of us don't have that computer chip. So to get to the bottom of the sociopath, because that's what it starts with.
Yeah.
I don't care what your
profile.
motivations are. There's no legitimizing this. This is sociopathic behavior. I mean, it truly is. Even in a war scenario, using, I think show me a terrorist and you're going to show me a sociopath. Yeah. I don't put terrorists in that category of, well, we're just doing this because you sent a drone over there. When we send a drone over, as horrible as it is, and I think it's horrible when there's collateral damage, but you are talking about a military exercise that is designed to kill a combatant, somebody who's out to get us. And yes, there is collateral damage, and it sucks, and it's terrible that happens.
Right.
But there's a big difference between that and placing an explosive device among innocent citizens,
Right.
not even military.
A real soldier doesn't target innocent people.
Precisely.
That's it.
It's that
Yeah,
simple.
right.
And it's the way it goes. And to consider anything that we do or anything in the world that legitimizes this kind of behavior, it starts with sociopaths. So when you say he's got a little gleam in his eye, which everybody's seen that picture, it looks to me like, God, you MF.
We're getting away with this.
And then at the end, they said the brother-in-law got up and was, shooting, wanted death by cop, wanted to go out and blaze of glory. Oh, there was this guy on CNN. There's only one guy. I don't know what his name was because I was listening to the audio and I didn't see the crawl. But he was just, if he said blaze of glory one more time, I swear to God, I wanted to find where the headquarters were.
An anchor?
An anchor was just talking about, they want to go out, and he probably wants to go out in a blaze of glory. And he's speaking in such a way, this is a 19-year-old kid that was, hiding in a boat bleeding to death.
Right.
And to listen to certain people when you make him more of the boogeyman than he is, it just was, dangerous guy. Could have had explosives on him at the same time. Right. I think we all know that. You don't need to blow it up to more than it is.
Agreed.
But I went, the weekend ended with my mom Sunday morning and her birthday breakfast that we all took her out to. And, Boston is known for a lot of things. It's got a North End with Italian restaurants.
Right.
This is a restaurant that I went to, and I've never seen anything like it. It's a dessert-themed restaurant.
Mike, I'll be back. I need to go to Boston right now.
It is a dessert-themed restaurant. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I think they only have them up there, and the only one. And my mom has wanted to go to this place for
What's
a
it
long
called?
time. Oh, God.
Pineapple pie.
No, it's not that.
What is the dessert? The Cheesecake Factory. I think it's called the Cheesecake.
What? No, you can't do a restaurant based just on cheesecake.
They did, Rob.
What?
And it's huge.
No.
I mean, you walk
Do they
into
serve cheesecake?
They had 30 of them.
No.
And I was going to buy. I had this discussion that you guys were going to be amazed when I came back and told you about this. And they had hats. I was going to buy a hat, but I was plumb out of money after my souvenir box.
Sure.
And I was going to come in and just show you the logo. It's kind of a cute handwriting little design they have.
But step back a second.
Yeah.
It's a restaurant that serves cheesecake primarily?
No, that's the great thing about it.
What?
They serve everything.
What?
No, they serve everything. Everything. I've never seen anything like
this. Do they
this.
have like pasta?
Yeah.
What?
Yes. They had pasta, they had fish, they had hamburgers, they had a separate brunch menu.
What?
And
Separate?
The place, first of all, the place was huge.
Was anybody there?
Oh, yeah, it was packed.
Did you pick this place?
Of course.
Huh?
Did you pick this place?
No, thank God I didn't pick it.
No.
If I'd picked it, I'd go to some little mom and pop, piece of crap place.
Right.
This place was...
It's like a factory.
Here's the reason I know it's good.
Yeah.
The reason I know it's good, because in this suburb of Boston, on Sunday at 11 o'clock, everyone was there.
Oh. Wow, that speaks well.
Hold on just a second. I'm reasonably sure the whole town was there.
Everybody in Boston?
Yeah, well, it's that popular.
And
I understand there was a 45-minute wait even during the lockdown.
Yeah, and I was, I think my mom, God bless her, at 93, might have said, "Keep your voice down." When I exclaimed to the whole table, when I said, "How long has this place been here?" And
who picked it?
And Mike,
my mom.
Portions.
My mom.
The portions are
She wanted to go to the
wonderful.
cheesecake. God bless her. She's adorable. She's such a sweetheart. And,
simple pleasures in life.
The simple pleasures in life, and she enjoyed her Belgian waffle.
Oh, nice.
I bet.
God bless her.
Sure, it was great.
I love her to death. She is such a sweet lady. And another announcement. This is a serious announcement.
Yeah.
The other announcement I wanted to make. I think I've alluded to the fact that my son's name is going to be Michael Jr.
Yeah, you've said that.
We have a change to the the plan.
Really?
Oh. Yeah. I go over to visit my mom early in the morning on Saturday, and she said, "Do you have a name for the baby yet?" And I said, "Yeah, it's gonna be a junior, Mom. It's gonna be Michael Sean O'Mara Jr." And I get a little, I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "Well, I was just thinking your father's name would be in there somewhere." And I said, "Mom, do you 93 has its privileges. Do you want it to be Michael William O'Mara?" She said, "Well, that would be nice, but you do what you want." I said, "Let me take it back to the general."
Right.
Wow.
And, so I went back into Boston and told Carla, and Carla was like, of course I was doing that because you wanted it to be a junior.
Did you explain to her that if you really got to do what you wanted, you wouldn't be going to the Cheesecake Factory?
93 has its privileges.
Carla toasted my mom and
Awesome.
said at the fabulous Cheesecake Factory, which was lovely. She toasted everybody at brunch and said, "I'm here. We're making a change to the baby's name. It will be Michael William O'Mara," and the 93-year-old lost it.
Oh.
And so it was.
Carla loves to make her cry.
She does. She does. So that was it, and. I didn't think the waitress got my joke when she came over and said, "Hi, my name is so-and-so," in her white, almost looked like, she was wearing surgeon's scrubs.
Yeah.
And I said, "Do you serve dessert here?"
I love that gag.
It was crickets, but it was lovely. We'll take a break and come back with Rob and the Magic Audio Vault. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. Hey, I know that bad. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment of our program is brought to you by Smart Smoke. The premium e-cigarette. Smart Smoke has the nicotine you crave. Don't you, Mark Ronick?
Who, me?
You crave that nicotine, don't you?
Well, you know.
But it doesn't have tar, it doesn't have odor, it doesn't have secondhand smoke or carcinogens. And I love the rechargeable cigar as well. Same-day shipping and a money-back guarantee. Smart Smoke, the smarter alternative to tobacco, and it costs 80% less than traditional tobacco products. If you're a cigar lover, try the Belvedere, which lasts as long as 6 double Coronas. To see all the styles, flavors, and strengths, and to order your refills, just click the Smart Smoke ad on our website, and we thank you in advance. And really, you're buying them like crazy, and we're very, very grateful. You ready for the audio vault?
Open the thing,
because I'm exhausted.
I bet.
You should be. You've been working hard.
Another 1 hour workday.
Had yourself a week.
Yeah.
You know what? When you do all this coverage, something is going to go wrong somewhere.
Right.
And I have some great broadcasting missteps in today's audio.
Yeah, because you've got all these people up there. You got the TV trucks, and stuff does go bad.
I love this one. This is my favorite because of the way Brian Williams handles it. NBC throws it to a local reporter in Boston. They have no idea that they're going to be thrown to.
Okay.
What's bleeped is, "I don't know S," is what the reporter says. But let's go to Boston and NBC.
Oh, you're not listening? No. Oh, we don't know.
Well, that was a fortuitous time to dip into the coverage of New England cable news. We apologize for the language we inadvertently aired.
Williams just completely dissed that.
Yeah, he did.
New England cable news. Like, I'm the anchor man up. I'm on high. I'm at 30 Rock, and we just went down to the lower minions, the slugs, the snails that work at a local cable news channel.
I'm so glad you brought up Brian Williams because this guy is going to be our next Brian Williams, but he had his debut. His name is A.J. Clemente, Mike. You've seen this? Yeah.
WVU grad.
Okay. Yeah, and this is from Bismarck, North Dakota's NBC affiliate. It's his anchor debut.
Okay.
First time
and he sounds calm. Everything is great, except it isn't. The bad thing is the first words...
So everything is great, but it isn't.
Well, yeah, I'm teasing.
Okay.
Because the first words out of his mouth on the news are F and S. Now, they're bleeped, but the afterwards coverage of him... There's no need to be this nervous. It's only North Dakota.
So is he live anchoring?
Yes, this is his first day on the news. Okay, check him out. Let's go to North Dakota, Mike.
NBC North Dakota News, your news leader in high definition.
Good evening, I'm Dan Q. You may have seen our newest reporter, AJ, on NBC North Dakota News, and he'll be joining the weekend news team as my co-anchor. Tell us a little bit about yourself, AJ.
Thanks, Van. I'm very excited. I graduated from West Virginia University, and I'm used to, from being from the East Coast.
What?
Oh, dear.
Oh, my God.
And not only that, he was murmuring during the whole thing,
Yes,
dropped the F-bomb, the S-bomb, and when they finally threw it to him, he was looking at the wrong camera.
And you got to see the woman, the female anchor, because while she's introducing him, he's sitting there mumbling and saying stuff, and she's out of the corner of her eyes, she keeps looking over at the guy. What is he doing?
Is the meltdown just that he can't handle the pressure?
It's not a meltdown. He was under pressure and he was nervous. It's like if you say F me, you know what I mean?
Are they? So they're taking anybody really?
Pretty much.
Yeah. You get the bus fare out to North Dakota, you're going to get an anchor desk.
So the funny part is the next day you see on his Twitter account, he tweets, he's like, and this is how you know he's immature and he's probably not prepared for anything like this.
Right.
Where he writes, he goes, I'm in my GM and program news director's office, and they're about to review my tape. And he goes awkward. He writes awkward turtle on his actual, which is basically FML, on his Twitter account. Then forward,
so he can do
yeah,
that.
So
he has the intellectual capacity to do that.
And then 4 hours later, he goes, "That couldn't have gone any worse."
Like it's their fault.
And he was
It's the land of the entitled. Like it's their fault.
Yeah.
I mean,
God.
I was horrible on TV. I had to take the classes, but at least I knew how to find my camera.
Suspended.
Did they can him? Oh, he got suspended.
That's what he got.
This doesn't speak well for West Virginia either.
Or North Dakota.
But, and here's
AJ Clemente.
But here's the weird thing about this world: he will be the most well-known anchor that's ever come out of North Dakota.
Yeah. That's true.
How sick is that?
Oh, he'll be the Brian Williams of North Dakota.
Yeah, that's the New England cable news.
All right, it's not all NBC, Mike. CNN had a pretty good misstep too. This
24-hour news, baby.
Susan Candiotti when she
Yep.
was talking about the lockdown in Watertown.
Right.
Sometimes when a reporter, an anchor uses a figure of speech, a simile, to explain how something is, sometimes they're well chosen.
Yes, like which is Bazoom and a brassiere.
Sometimes they're not.
Right.
Update our viewers on the latest information you're getting.
Wolf, I've never seen anything like it before. Being in Watertown right now, the streets are empty. It's eerie. It's as though a bomb had dropped somewhere and the streets are clear.
Oh, boy.
Dun-dun-dun.
Oh, my God.
Susan Candiotti.
Duh. God.
Mike, it's so cold outside, it's as if the temperature has dropped.
I saw the coverage in the morning where there was someone was doing a report in Cambridge where the suspects had lived.
Right.
And apparently the reporter was screaming to get back on live from Watertown. Simply because like 4 cruisers with their lights on had just gone by. And you see her go like this. And they cut to her too early. She said, "Take it to me. Get to me. Get to me."
No.
And then it's like, "All right, we're here. Okay, are we on? 4 cruisers just went by." And that was it.
That's
there was nothing after
they
that.
want to be on camera.
They get panicky. You know, that's what happens.
Congratulations to a band you enjoy, Mike, is Rush. Rush was inducted this weekend in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Way late. I mean, overdue in my opinion.
And they that will air later on HBO as a concert special. But we got up there and Geddy Lee spoke.
Geddy Lee!
And there's the other one. And
Neil Peart, and I don't know the name of the other
Alex Lifeson is the one who took
the
the last
player.
one to speak.
Right.
And for 2 minutes and 20 seconds, this is all he said. 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Oh, my God.
And Geddy looked pissed.
Really?
Yeah, because Geddy spoke, then Neil spoke, and then this guy does this for... But he's he emotes a lot when he does it.
I think it's funny. You did different voices?
Yeah. I won't play you all 2 minutes, but that's what we have to look forward to. I look forward to see how much of that makes the final cut.
That's funny.
It is.
I think that's fantastic. It's his way of going awards are BS.
Right. And especially since they are notably overlooked for so long.
Oh, absolutely.
So he's giving them the finger.
That's fantastic.
One of my favorite game shows that in all its incarnation still entertains is Family Feud. Now it's the Steve Harvey Family Feud.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, we can actually play this around the room. Tell me a word that follows the word pork.
Barrel.
Good. Anyone?
Chops.
Good.
Chop.
Good.
Kosher.
He said chops.
Okay, roll. I'll say pork roll.
Pork roll. None of those are what this guy says on Family Feud.
Name something that follows the word pork.
You pine.
You pine.
I want you to, because
Steve Harvey is so lucky because he's had so many of these great moments, and this is the whole direction of Family Feud. Can't argue with it. The whole thing about Steve Harvey hosting.
Yep,
you're getting better families on the show to play,
and letting people be stupid.
And letting people be
let's hear this again.
Name something that follows the word pork.
You pine.
Does he have something? Does he have something? Steve Harvey come up with something?
He said, Cupine.
No, he just gives him S.
What? What is Cupine? I think it's number 1.
Oh, my mama.
Oh, really? Well, I tell you what. It's going to be number 1 on YouTube. But
So the answer, porcupine, not up there. We're running a little late.
Out of the park, Steve Harvey.
So tomorrow, always.
No, really. You get that.
I know.
That's what he had.
He wasn't expecting it.
Stellar.
Tomorrow we will do Gary Busey on The Celebrity Apprentice.
Oh, good.
Tomorrow we will do Ryan Lochte and highlights from What Would Ryan Lochte Do?
You cannot bring me enough Ryan Lochte.
But I will give you this right now, Mike, is Ryan's laugh. So we have that for tomorrow. But I closed today. I actually TiVo'd the Ellen Show on Friday.
Okay.
Because of one of her guests.
Mm-hmm.
She had a co-host. It
Yeah.
was the co-host was Matthew Perry, but it was Jennifer Love Hewitt was in the chair.
Oh my!
Yeah, I saw this one around.
Her dress is just outstanding.
Oh, nice.
Really.
What do you think of that, Oscar?
She could lose a couple.
I really don't get it.
He just doesn't.
I don't get it. But when she came out, this is what it went. And I love the fact that they let Matthew Perry co-host, and he was
hilarious.
he was
Were
great.
you just sewing your dress when did you run out of time, or what's happening?
No, it's the design, but it's a little wowzers. Sorry about it.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of time. Anyway, hello.
Yeah. All right.
Hello.
So, what a weird day you're here on.
It might be my favorite day.
That, Mike, that is your magic audio vault.
We love them in America. They live them all the way around the world. We're talking about boobs. We'll take a break and come back with pork chop singular and the news right here on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Cute pie.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show.
You're funny.
Without further ado, I'm just a jealous old man.
Yeah.
Let's bring in, and I couldn't wear those suits. I'd look like a clown in those suits.
Well,
let's bring in Buzz Burbank. Take it away, Buzz.
Hi, Mike. Thank you. We're brought to you today by the Mike O'Mara Show's Amazon page. Now you can save up to 75% on select watches and shoes, everything from wireless routers to SAT prep kits. He could use one. Good. Save up to 70% on books, headphones, and jewelry, 60% on musical instruments and home theater gear, and up to 50% off on clothes and outdoor gear. You get the idea. You know somebody's having a baby? 30% off on baby stuff. And cell phones.
Mike's having a baby. That's funny.
And computers.
Michael William.
Save your money and support your show. Click and bookmark the Amazon link at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Well, Boston's back to normal today, mostly. After a surreal lockdown on Friday, people are going back to their jobs and back to their classrooms, but the city would pause on this Monday at 10 minutes to 3 for a minute of silence, except for the tolling of bells. It was at that moment, a week ago today, when the bombs went off at the marathon finish line. 3 people died in the blast and more than 180 people were hurt. Of the scores of injured still in hospitals, only 3 are still in critical condition, an amazing tribute to the doctors and nurses who treated the incoming wounded, the wounded arriving still bleeding and smoking. Today also brings the first of the funerals and memorials. At a hospital in Cambridge, the Boston Transit officer who was critically wounded by the suspects has now opened his eyes and squeezed the hand of his wife, even after having lost nearly all of his blood. An MIT security officer was the 4th to die, apparently assassinated by the fleeing suspects. But the city itself can breathe easier now on word from authorities that the brothers Tsarnaev were probably acting on their own and had no accomplices. They did have more bombs, indicating they had planned to carry out more attacks. Surviving suspect Dzhokhar Tsarnaev is also in a Boston hospital, in and out of consciousness, as doctors keeping him in a kind of twilight sedation.
You're a pronouncer guy. As far is it Zokhar or Zohar? Or Johar. I've heard it pronounced like 10 different ways.
As I understand it, based on my familiarity with Russian names, Dzhokhar or Dzhokhar is the correct pronunciation of his first name.
Where'd you get that?
Tsarnaev for the last name.
That's what we all got.
They were handed out?
Oh, you got a sign?
For everybody to hold up.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's great.
And then, of course, how about WEEI, everybody?
Hey.
Let's make sure we get that up there. They printed them.
Somebody had to pay for it.
And I thought it was cool that they gave us one side without
you
the...
should frame that.
promotion.
I hope you do.
Yeah, it's kind of banged up, but
who cares?
I might just do that.
It's an important day.
It is.
Dzhokhar's throat is so badly injured he cannot speak. It's possible he'll never speak again.
Oh, really?
It isn't clear. It isn't clear whether he tried to slit his own throat or whether a bullet pierced it, but he can and has written responses to questions. That, however, does not mean that he's answered any questions pertaining to the bombing or the violence that followed.
I'm an a-hole.
The first question they asked him is, name a word that follows the word pork.
And Chop had already been taken.
Now I picked on you, but he's letting it really land.
No, I'm just
your brother over there is letting it. I know I get heat from you all the time, but look what he just did.
It was a throwback to the vault.
Right. Anyway, so he might not ever be able to speak.
That's the word. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Now Dzhokhar hasn't been charged with anything yet, although he does face federal terrorism charges and probably state murder charges. He has also not been read his Miranda rights, which is constitutional, and here's why. Based on a 1984 Supreme Court ruling, authorities are allowed to question a suspect about any remaining threat to public safety so long as they ask him nothing more than that. He will have to be read his rights when authorities are ready to ask him about the bombing and the crimes that followed. The harumphing.
Did you hear any rumors that he had that he sold like new different stuff?
New different stuff?
Yeah.
Like
new and improved Dzhokhar products.
Dzhokhar products.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't gonna go there.
I thought it was gonna be.
Hey, I'm happy they caught the bastard.
I thought it was gonna be a T-shirt.
You gotta laugh a little bit.
That's
sometimes.
right. Oh, of course you do. Yeah, but the harumphing.
What are you playing?
Carmen Miranda rights.
Oh God, Jesus! Wow, turn that off.
You should like this, Oscar.
That's
She's
an
one
order.
of yours. Down from South American way.
So yes, up on Capitol Hill, they're already harumphing with lawmakers from both parties asking why the FBI didn't do something about Dzhokhar's brother Tamerlan when they first investigated his radical views 2 years ago.
Worthy of an investigation. They've got a legitimate beef here.
Congress has asked to be kept updated on the investigation. There's even been talk of delaying immigration reform until all of this is sorted out.
And they will politicize it somehow. That's
sure.
what
I
will
think it's
inevitably
already
happen.
starting.
I really hope that they don't. I hope they get to the bottom of this. And if there is a law issue where they need to, give them more free reign to keep a guy under surveillance, I'm all for it.
On Saturday, Senators John McCain and Lindsey Graham, both Republicans, proposed that Dzhokhar be tried as an enemy combatant.
Yep, a lot of talk about that.
And Alan Dershowitz, the famous criminal defense attorney, responded to that by saying that's ridiculous. You cannot try an American citizen. You can't take an American citizen who's not in the military or not an enemy, from another country and try them in military courts, which is what would happen if he were tried as an enemy combatant.
But at the same time, he, if he did go to a foreign country and there were enemies that are, we have established the fact that Al Qaeda is a military enemy of the United States.
Right.
They have placed IEDs where our service members are. I think that the problem with this, if we get bogged down in what he is and who's going to do this, I think we got problems. Just whatever gets us more information. That's, I think, what we have to concern ourselves
we all want that. Somebody fired 10 shots into the crowd Saturday at the first public celebration following the legalization of recreational marijuana.
See what that
Colorado.
stuff does to people?
Wow.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't have been the guns.
Well, this guy, the one thing with his suspect number 2 was known as a big pothead. That was one of the things in the Boston Globe that I read on Sunday. And, that's not cool. I mean, who knows? I don't know whether that's a contributing
Gateway
factor.
drug. The terrorism.
Yeah. I read an expose on these guys, a very detailed expose on Sunday. That's all we did.
So many of when they interviewed all those students at was it Dartmouth where he went? And
it was it was UMass Dartmouth, but not Dartmouth is a
not
school.
Dartmouth.
Dartmouth,
Very clear.
Dartmouth is where my nephew's going to business school.
So many of the people that they spoke to said,
overachiever,
normal kid. We smoke pot together.
Yeah, a lot of you heard that
so much.
You heard that again and again and again.
Yeah.
And he went back to class, which was amazing.
It's great. I didn't blow up anything, and I never went to class.
Right.
I heard he loved cats too.
That's what. What, did you come in with a kick me sign on your back today?
No, I don't know what happened. I'm okay with it, though. I'm going to be all right.
Yeah, we're all okay.
Yeah.
Today's the day. I got picked on at the beginning of the show. You know what? It was a nice resolution.
It was. That's right. But anyway, Saturday in Colorado, 2 people ended up with leg wounds. Another was grazed by a bullet. The shooter is still at large. I missed that time cue. What are we at? Okay,
well, actually,
thanks.
45 now.
All right, very good. Well, let's rush to the ending here. Flight delays today as sequestration forces air traffic controllers to take some days off.
Wow.
We now know 14 people died in that fertilizer plant explosion in Waco. Unfortunately, 12 of them were first responders, mostly firefighters. And finally, from the home office in Florida, it's that time of year.
Oh, no.
From Altamont Springs, police have arrested Russell DeSaro after he was spotted jogging and lounging around an apartment complex in full view of his fellow residents. They found him later, sitting on an air conditioning unit, wearing nothing but a T-shirt. He seemed loopy, but Russell assured the police he was not on drugs and had only had 2 beers.
always 2 beers in Florida.
Yeah.
When they asked him what he was up to, he answered calmly that he was taking pictures and sightseeing. I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
I do, for your purposes and for the purposes of our listening audience, hope that you have a wonderful season as the warm air comes to the east coast of the United States.
You know it will be.
I hope we get more and more. Those are my favorite kind, where he just says, I'm sightseeing with no pants on. That's it. We got to get out of here. Our show is brought to you by Encore Insurance Services, and we are delighted to be back and delighted that the people up in Boston had at least a resolution to a tough week.
And welcome home.
Yes, welcome. Yeah. And happy birthday, Mary O'Mara, 93 years old today. Mary. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.